Hi, Wendy.
Very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, and pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.
It seems like you are one of the newest tenants
I believe I
in
am.
the building, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's correct.
So we have a policy since last year, which we, in a period of 12 months, I want to make sure everybody's going to make sure that we all know each other. Okay, so
Very nice.
I'm going to start with a basic question, just to ease into the interview.
Okay.
And the question is, okay, tell me where you were born and raised. Let's start there.
Where I was born?
Where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised in Beachwood, Ohio. I actually went through Beachwood schools, moved away for my first job, lived in Youngstown for a while, and then moved back after I got married and have been in the same general area since.
So do you think anything's changed about Beachwood city itself, or has it been
It has.
constant?
It has.
Like what?
I appreciate the fact that the schools have become much more diverse, and my children have lots of different friends from lots of different backgrounds, which I think the school district embraces, and I really appreciate that. And my son recently moved because of COVID situations from New York City, and is now back in Beachwood, living around the corner from me. So it's a good place to be,
Nice, yeah.
and there's good walkability, and I have a lovely neighborhood.
Yeah, I moved my business here about a year ago. Although I don't live here, I mean, I spend a lot of time in the city.
I'm sure.
And yeah, I love it. Every single part of it. The community, the city has been great.
We have great resources.
It's been a good experience.
Yeah, we have great resources. I feel that the city is very receptive to suggestions and needs that we have. And I love the fact that my last job, I drove about 35 minutes, and this building is 4 minutes from my house.
Perfect.
It is. It's perfect.
Yeah, I have a 20-minute drive. I don't mind it, but something tells me that in the future I'll build my life in a 10 minute kind of radius.
It's very convenient with the weather that we have.
Everything, right? I mean, the time you spend in your car, just going places.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So you mentioned something a little bit about our son, right? So married, kids.
I'm married.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Been married for 35 years. My oldest son, actually, as I told you before the interview, he's turning 32, which is crazy to me. He was a scenic designer on Broadway, and COVID happened, and Broadway shut down. And after a year and a half of no work, he relocated back to Beachwood, around the corner from me, as I said, and is finishing a master's in architectural design. My middle son, who just turned 29, is a veterinarian. He lives in Ohio City and works on the west side. And my daughter, as of Monday, passed the bar and was sworn in, and she works downtown at Key Bank. So everybody's set. So they're all grown-ups and they're all nice people. So I'm very, very thankful for that.
I'm sure you're a proud mama too.
I'm a proud mama, yes.
All right, so let's talk about what you do.
Okay.
That puts a smile on your face, hobby, leisure activity.
I have lots of things that I enjoy doing.
All right.
I love to go hiking. I love to be outdoors. I love outdoor activities. I have a dog, and we do lots of walking. I like to read. I like to sew. I love to travel. I like to cook and bake. So I am often busy. I like theater. My husband and I have the series. Yeah,
the season tickets.
I enjoy that. Just getting together with people is enjoyable. I have lots of wonderful people in my life. So I'm busy. I'm rarely bored. And when I am bored, I I can usually find something to do.
Yeah, isn't it? I think one of our best friends is life itself when it comes to things that we can't do. Being busy. I think that's the best things you can do as a human being.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Gives you, although time to reflect, which very important. I spend at least an hour a day doing that. But having a bunch of free time to reflect about your current life or things that happened in the past.
Right. I'm very
Get
grateful.
busy, you know, do stuff.
I'm very busy, but I also have gratitude and really appreciation when you talk about reflection. I'm very grateful for, I've got a very close family, and I grew up in a multi-generational family. I had aunts and uncles around. My parents, thankfully, are still around and live around the corner from me as well. So I consider myself very blessed, and I'm appreciative. We sometimes focus on this deficient mentality, what we don't have, what we'd like to have, instead of focusing more on feeling sufficient with what we do have, and feeling like what we have may be enough. And I think it's a really important concept to think about. When my kids were growing up, I always said, be thankful for what you have and be thankful for what you don't have, because there's a lot of people that don't have things, and you look at our world right now and there's a lot of chaos. So to have stability and to be grounded and to have support networks around us is very important. And the fact that I have that, I do feel like I have enough. And that's a very contented feeling. So
I heard the expression of being blissfully dissatisfied as a way to put it, as you want more,
right,
at the same time, you are blessed for what you have.
And I think that it's, you know, there's an old, and I'm not going to get into it, but there's an old, I think it's a Chinese story about how basically the situation is the situation. It's how you look at it that really determines, and this actually goes into what I do. Your thinking affects your feeling and then affects your behavior. It's kind of a very sequential process. So if I think something is okay, then I'm going to feel okay about it, and then my behavior will be dictated in that way.
More formally, tell us your business, what you do, and why the story. Why did that happen?
Okay, I've had this feeling that I wanted to do what I'm doing for a long time. I worked in the schools for 37 years. I've worked privately as well, but more earlier in my career, before I had children, I worked in a private setting. Working in the schools has been great, and I feel like my job has changed though, or my job changed throughout the years. I started doing more testing and report writing, and there's so much more to the field of school psychology than testing and report writing. Not that I don't respect and appreciate that component of what I do, but my background is I did all my PhD coursework in counseling, and I've done other types of training that really guided what I'd like to do, my practice. And really what that is there's a lot of intervention work outside of the psychoeducational component that needs to happen for children. So when I retired, I said I will still continue to do testing, because again, it's very important for children, adolescents, college-age students to get the services and the supports they need. But my concern was that we need to take care of the social emotional piece. And one area that I've done a lot of studying in and certifications in is the area of executive functioning. So that is something that I really wanted to offer in my practice. And executive functioning is your self-regulation, it's your planning, organization, how you accomplish things how do you go from point A to point Z systematically, efficiently. And executive functions are something that we start learning as an infant, but they really continue to develop in your brain through your mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
So that's an area that I really wanted to help people with, because I see, especially during COVID, a lot of kids were left on their own, and they didn't develop the self-management and self-regulation skills that they needed in order to be effective, despite having, the intellectual ability to accomplish tasks. They just didn't have the work habits. So that was one of the main components that I wanted to offer. And then part of that too is emotional regulation. So we have behavioral regulation and we have emotional regulation. So how do you work through when you feel too anxious and you're trying to take a test, you're trying to take a standardized test? How do we work through that? How do I use my time effectively? So that's, like I said, that's a component of my practice, as well as the psychoeducational assessment piece.
Now, what separates you from somebody else that offers the service that you do?
Well, that's a good question. There are many wonderful practitioners out there. I think I bring insight. First of all, I'm very current on research. I read a lot, I study a lot. So I do have, as you were talking about earlier, that growth mindset. I also think that working in the schools, I understand what the Ohio mandates are. I understand what school protocol is. I understand the culture. And I think one thing that separates me is I really have done a lot of work consulting and mediating with teachers, parents, and educational professionals to try to integrate services and to make the recommendations that I have meaningful and doable. So I think that's where my services may be a little different and a little bit more current in terms of understanding school practices and what it takes in order to have things implemented. A lot of times I would receive reports from private practitioners and I'd feel like it was, number one, a laundry list, and number two, strategies that may sound great on paper but may not necessarily be viable in a school setting with limited resources. So that's where I feel like I kind of have an insight, especially since educational practices have really changed within the last 5 to 10 years. I mean, they're constantly changing, but so
awesome. Okay, so let's switch now to one of my favorite questions.
Okay.
Which is what is your favorite local restaurant?
Oh, my favorite local restaurant.
Yes,
where
tell
are we
us.
going out next?
Tell us. I mean, who knows?
Okay.
I like to know where the good spots are.
Okay. Well,
and I think everybody does.
It's true.
But this is your favorite. Like, it has nothing to do with everybody else's opinion. It's
right.
Perhaps a place that you like.
Oh, I do like to go out and eat. My favorite, probably just everyday go-to, is actually, it used to be in Cleveland Heights and they moved to the west side. So I love Thai food. So Lotus Thai, I'm giving them a promo.
I heard about that.
They're a ma and pa shop. The grandparents, we know the family, and the grandma and grandpa cook in the kitchen, and they just went back to Thailand for the first time since they immigrated here. So so one of the sons told me that they keep calling and saying, "Do you need us to come back? Do you need us to come back?" They're like, "No, we got this." So,
I'm sure.
But it's really good, fresh,
I love Thai food.
Yeah, I love Thai food. My favorite birthday restaurant is Venetian.
Ooh, have a birthday restaurant. Okay.
I have a birthday restaurant because they kind of make a big deal, and
of having a birthday restaurant, or of your birthday. They make a big
deal.
Oh, they make a big deal.
Yeah, last time we were there, we got drinks and appetizers all on the house.
Isn't that what if you get treated?
Oh, it's very,
right. If you get paid attention to, then that's all it takes.
Right. Plus they have homemade pasta.
Okay, maybe that too.
Yeah. What's better than homemade pasta? I don't have it very often, but on my birthday it's definitely
Okay, yeah,
good.
yeah, I like pasta. I
Yeah.
have it. I have it pretty often.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay, Wendy, tell me 3 attributes that define you.
Oh my goodness.
3. That was the 3. We had to pick 3.
Okay, 3. I'm a loving person. I think that's one thing. People that know me know that I'm loving, but I'm authentic. I really do try to do right by people. I guess that's too loving and authentic. I'm growth-minded. And I really feel like I'm trying to teach this old dog a new trick, and I have kind of been very humbled in this new business because the new tricks that I'm learning are how to do things on the computer, like my website and mail merges. What? And my children have really been my fan club and my cheering section because
That's
learning.
how it goes.
That's how it
But
goes.
you are learning, and you're
I'm
not
learning.
just saying, forget it. That's how you're doing it. So you're like, okay, let me learn this stuff.
They roll their eyes at me a lot when I say, how do we do this?
That's okay.
But that's okay. They're very helpful.
They're gonna have their turn when they roll their eyes to new kids. So it's a whole cycle.
Hey, you know what? They know I'm appreciative though of their services.
Yeah.
And it's very humbling to start a new practice. And I know how to do the therapy work. I'm not so good with the computer work. So that's where I have a lot of, I need a lot of support.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So actually, that can be one of the things that we can talk about because upstairs where you are, there's a 2 space. Well, before I say that, you've been there for 2 months or so, right?
October.
Okay.
Since October.
Okay, so what has been your experience so far?
It's been amazing. First of all, I have to say that Joyce has been warm and kind, and anything she can do to help me, she's really Johnny on the spot. So, I mean, can't ask for more than that, as well as Lori. I mean, Lori is friendly face. I love the fact, one of the things that actually drew me to the building is the fact that, as Joyce said, she wants to create that kind of camaraderie and community within the building. So the fact that you have regular events, just the overall friendliness, the fact that you're doing this is kind of amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I appreciate
and it's absolutely that my intention is to, when you come to work, you not think I'm going to work. It's like you have a sense that you kind of belong here because you know this person, you know what's going on, you had a conversation with this person, and you feel at home here.
Right.
And you do that. You can't do that if people are strangers because in your office you're by yourself, but if you leave, then you see another person, then if you know them, that's the feeling I'm looking for. And the new where you at conversations that I want to start, where we get together monthly as business owners, as almost like a mastermind, if you can call it. Don't really like that name, but it's just conversations that I have, honest conversations with everyone, like a round table. So I want to implement that monthly because I want that, because I want people to talk and communicate and get to know each other.
Right.
Okay. But it starts with being honest, with having the courage to talk about anything that comes up.
Right.
Okay. So that's one way that I'll find to implement that in here. But it's been a process. But I love the fact that people are responding to that, and all positive.
It's unusual.
And honestly, I haven't found that in any office building that I've been in. So yeah, we're working hard. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate that.
Last question.
Okay.
My favorite.
I
Now,
thought the food one was your favorite.
no, that is one of my favorites.
Oh, okay.
This one, no, because this one is totally about you, and it's this. What is your superpower?
Wow. And it's not walking through walls. Yeah, it's not.
I mean, it can be.
Oh,
It's
well,
not like it's not.
yeah.
It could if that's your answer.
Right. I'd like that to be my answer, but it's not my answer. I think one thing that I really try to do in terms of superpowers is listen and mirror where people are coming from. It's really important when you work with someone to join them, because we all come from different experiences and our perceptions are our reality. So what I really try to do is help the people I'm working with know that they're heard. Whether I agree or not is not the issue. It's that you feel validated and supported, and we can move towards a solution. So I really try to let people know. I guess my superpower is just the fact that I'm pretty good at joining people, and it's not that exciting of a superpower. I guess
That's exciting. Some people say they make a great chicken. Okay,
that's right.
I mean, like it doesn't matter what it is. Like,
well, in that way, I make.
She's gonna change her superpower.
I'm really good at making sourdough bread.
Okay.
I've kept my sourdough alive for many, many years. A lot of people, it was kind of like a fad during COVID. I started way before COVID.
That's right.
Every week I make a really magical sourdough bread.
See, look at that.
There you go.
Look at that.
So
love sourdough bread. Who doesn't, right?
It's so good for you. It's got good probiotic properties. I mean, if you're gonna eat
I didn't
carbs,
know that. I didn't know that. I just like
very
it.
good for you. Yeah. No, it
I like
good
bread.
too, so
I'm Portuguese. I can live off bread.
bread is good food. Yeah. So,
All right. Awesome, Wendy. Thank you.
Thank
This was
you.
fun. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you.
Look at that.